Hello everybody, today's January 24th, 2013. It's kind of late at night, so please bear with me, but I wanted to get a video out. It's been about 6 days. I wanted to bring up the Canadian Mint is now rationing coins, and the US Mint is supposed to start selling coins again on the 28th. And I'm thinking that this month they could get close to 10 million in sales, which would be more than any month prior to 2008. I'm sorry, any year prior to 2008 all the way back to 1986. So the demand is huge, and that's what this whole thing's about. And I'm sure most of you have heard about a silver shortage. There was a few different people have come out talking about it. There was this Apple employee saying that that's the reason they can't get certain computers or you know, on back order or whatever. They didn't have the silver for them. I don't know if there's a silver shortage. I don't claim to know. I do know that there's either a shortage or the two largest North American mints didn't plan for the type of demand we're having if they're rationing coins and running out. So it's one of two things. There either really is a shortage or they didn't plan for the demand. So either or, whether we have the shortage or not, we have huge demand right now. Now, I keep having a lot of people ask me, should I buy into silver now? Is now a good time? Or should I get out of my position? All this stuff. I say the same thing I always say. Continue to accumulate. I'm going to show you why in this video. I'm going to show you some things in this video that I don't even need to answer that question for people. If you're newer to precious metals or silver, just look at this information, and this is for everyone around the world. This is not just US based. If this stuff is new to you, you just look at this and you can answer for yourself, but I'll at least say that whenever you can, get a couple coins. Just continue to get silver. This goes against the traders that say there's a time to get in, time to get out. Now I'm gonna real quick, let me show you that too. I'll show you the this chart here. We're coming into this wedge here, and this was from a few days ago, but my breakout point is 33. Well, you see 33, and we're going to start to run. I don't know for sure. This is just a total guess, just from looking at the chart. I was looking at a major trend line back in, what was it? I think November. I did a video saying if we cross 2950, it was a long trend line. If we cross that, we're going to run, just keep running. Well, we crossed the 2950 mark or whatever I said, it's around there. It went to 36, but it got hammered back down. And unless you understand what's happening with the paper versus physical, you don't quite understand that, but it got hammered back down, and here we are coming up against another trend line. There's actually a longer trend line than the one I just showed you. You know, it goes a lot. It goes all the way back to that $50 it got to back in 2011. So we'll have to see what happens there. I'm just kind of throwing that out there. 33 is my point for liftoff here short term, but I'm all about long term. The short term things that I say are just speculation for fun. Not a trader, don't claim to be, don't want to trade, want to preserve my wealth through long term accumulation, and that's what I wanted to touch on definitely in this video. So I'll start off with some news we had today. Federal Reserve assets top 3 trillion. They're actually top 3.1 now, because this is kind of old data, but 3 trillion in assets. Wow, where'd they get all the money to buy all that stuff? Well, let me show you. Right here. They just hit keys on a keyboard. That's where they get their money from. They just hit the zero, and they just make money out of nothing. I mean, that's, I can't get into all that right now, but that's that's one of our biggest problems, everybody. A private company that's printing up as much money as they want. It's not even really printed. They're just creating it out of nothing, and that's a totally incredible thing. But anyhow, so we crossed the 3 trillion mark. Let's look at this now. I want to start getting into these graphs here. Okay, so this is where we are. That gray area is the recession. So the recession ended, and base money keeps increasing, and it's going to keep increasing. This right here is showing it at around 2.9 trillion. So they're going to print $1 trillion this year. Would probably be here, maybe somewhere around here, another year from now. So anyway, this is 95 years to get us to $900 billion, and then just like 4 years to triple that. So no matter what you hear on MSNBC or Bloomberg, things aren't rosy. I don't care if we came out of recession here. Things aren't growing. They're doing a real good job at covering over the truth. And I want to kind of expose some of that here. Okay, so the next graph I want to show you was the red line, which is M2. Now M2 is the money supply. That's taking the base money. These are the assets of the Fed. And then fractional reserve banking, where they're lending out 10 times what the banks have on reserve. And they take this on up to here. Now this could be a lot higher, but the banks aren't lending out. I can show you another graph where they have their reserves being held with the Fed, and so inflation is not taken off like you would expect. But what I want to show you here is the CPI has continued to grow. This is 2000 here, along with M2. So and remember, that doesn't have food or energy because those are too volatile. We don't want to include those, something everybody uses. So we have those going along, increasing, while at the same time we have the velocity of money, which usually, you know, to have inflation, it's not just an increase in the money supply. It's also the rate at which a unit of money is turning over, being the velocity. So, you know, when the economy is really roaring, the velocity's running good. In the 90s, you know, the velocity was increasing. We have the lowest velocity in 50 years now. So even with the, you know, the turning over the money in the economy being at historic lows, we have the CPI running with the money supply. Imagine when this turns around, if the economy does turn around, what's going to happen with inflation? So, you know, inflation's been held off, but we're going to have high inflation in the future. I don't know if John Williams' numbers are right or his dates, but it's coming. So the last thing I wanted to show you here for all the people watching around the world, I wanted to run through some different countries here. The M2, the money supply. This is why you want to have gold and silver no matter where you are. You want to have real money. Here's the M2 for China. Okay, here's 2004. It's just taking up. M2 for Japan, who's recently said they're going to be printing enough money for the whole world. I mean, that's just shooting straight on up. This is 1970. So here's 2000 here. Everybody, every country you go to, everybody, everyone. This is part of the currency wars. Everyone's trying to debase their currency against the next guy so they can have, you know, a better effect on their exports. Here's Korea. M2. This is why no matter where you are, you want to accumulate silver. Germany. There's not a single country that you click on, France, that you're not going to see. Ooh, France actually had their money supply drop a little bit here. Wow, that's incredible. Little tiny hook. Argentina. Can't wait to see this one here. Oh yeah, that one's going up at a nice steady rate. Russia? Let's see what Russia's M2 looks like. Yep, they're right in there with everybody else. Central banks around the world are printing, and that's why central banks since '09 have become net buyers of gold after being net sellers. Wow, Brazil's really taken off there. And why central banks are buying more gold now than they have in 50 years? I don't know. Could it be because they all know how much money is being printed? And, you know, this can't go on forever. Turkey. I'll just bring up a couple more here. Saudi Arabia. Hope you get the point. There's Saudi Arabia. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, everybody. You want to have some real money. Gold or silver. Here's Spain. So, I guess you get the point. That's enough of that. I'll let you all go now. I ran a little long. I just wanted to show you those. A lot of people, they don't look at that type of stuff. I know Dancing with the Stars was on tonight, so I'm sorry. American Idol. Sorry, I messed that up. I know American Idol was on tonight, so I'm sure that I took up a lot of people's time, so they probably weren't looking at M2 graphs of countries around the world. But the people watching this channel, you see that type of information. I show these graphs. It's incredible what's going on, and how few people are involved in precious metals or even know that they should be.